This is a perpendicular bisector construction. Ready? Michael, put your compass down and just watch for a minute. How about that? I called on you now if your parents listen. You're going to be like, Michael, stop talking in class. Okay, I can already tell this is too long for my compass, so I know you guys can't do this, but I can, so tough. Okay. Time out. Your book does a pretty good job of making sure the shapes are good for the type of compass that I told you to buy. Once in a while, you'll have a compass like this one here that maybe doesn't open wide enough, but it should do most of them. And sometimes when things are really small with one here, you can bend these little pieces in to get smaller.
No, I don't think I have one of those.
Okay. So, all right, we ready?
Yeah.
Perpendicular bisector. Kira is the only one back there listening to me. That's not true, but at least she's nodding. Okay. All right. So you're going to take your segment, and the goal is to find the midpoint and be able to draw another segment through the midpoint at a right angle. No protractor, no ruler. Project. Let's do this. Okay? So open your compass, and basically you're going to go beyond the midway. You have to just go past the middle. And you're just going to make two circles that are same size. And they're going to overlap. So you're going to do a circle like that. And yeah, like a Venn diagram. Then you use the same setting and you do the same thing. Now you really don't probably need those circles, but that's basically what you're doing. Is you're doing parts of two circles. Samantha.
How do you know how big to make them?
It doesn't matter as long as you go past the midway.
Okay.
It's got to be enough that they overlap. You'll know if they're not big enough because they didn't overlap.
Okay.
Then you just take your straight edge and draw a line through the intersection points. Remember, in constructions, you always use the points of intersection. So,
No way. Oh, that's pretty.
okay, so, got it?
Yeah.
Then you just pick up a pencil and you draw along the ruler. Again, my ruler is a little hard to line up perfectly, but this gives me the midpoint.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Okay.
No way.
Cyrus. Time out. Cyrus. Yes, you don't need to draw the whole circle, you just need to have the overlapping arcs.
So we can like this
They can be small.
But the circles are actually
Okay, time out, guys, too loud. But the arcs have to be the same size. Otherwise, you would have an intersection point that's not in the middle. Kate.
So the line's perpendicular.
So the line is also perpendicular. That's how you create a perpendicular. And, I mean, you could test it, like with my ruler here, right? It fits in right at a right angle, and that's a square edge. So you see that?
Make a star by doing it again the other way and then doing it again the other way. Yeah, make a star.
You can do all kinds of creative designs. Connor. Get your arm up. Stretching? Okay. Next construction. The next construction is a median. So the median connects the vertex to what?
Middle.
The middle of the opposite side, the midpoint. So if I want to construct the medians of this triangle, every triangle has 3 medians. Okay? What I think works best, Kenneth, is to work on the largest side first and use one side circle 3 different times. So you may not like this, but I'm going to try this first and see how it goes over. So I'm going to put my compass here, and I'm going to make sure that it's longer than the half of the longest side.
What?
Just, do you see that this is
Longer than half.
it goes beyond the halfway point of the longest side.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Like
So
that.
it looks like it goes beyond the halfway point of both of those sides. Is that true?
Yeah.
So if I had to do all 3 medians, which sometimes you have to do, I'm going to just pick a lighter color because Can you guys see that color?
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make 3 circles. 1,
And they all have to intersect.
and they are going to intersect. So this, now again, as I do this, I'm going to stop each time. I've just found the midpoint of the bottom of the triangle. Do you see that? So I'm not going to use my straight edge. I'm going to use my straight tool because it just works a little better up here.
Right, so it has to be longer than the middle of the longest side.
Yeah, so that's not going either. My straight tool didn't do it. Yeah, you have to go beyond the middle because then you could use the same size circle each time. So let me finish. Let me grab that straight edge here.
The middle of the longest side.
Well, the reason I did the longest side is then I don't have to have multiple circles. So I'll show you the reason in a minute. So I'm going to take my straight edge and line it up with the intersection points. See if I can get the board to cooperate. It's just, can't quite do it. You see the little problem it's having? Why not? And I think it's just too,
Oh, we get it.
we get it, right?
Get it.
So we're gonna just pretend that that's the midpoint. Do you get that? It helps to do this along the way. So now, to do the midpoint of this side here, I'm gonna need to make 2 circles, and I've already got 1 circle.
There's gonna be 4 circles surrounding it.
No, there's only gonna be 3. So I'm gonna put my compass here
Where?
on the vertex I haven't used yet. And I'm gonna go back to that lighter color. And so when I make my next circle, if you look here, can you see I can take my compass
I see them all.
and I could line my compass, my straight edge I mean now.
Which circle did you just draw?
I drew the top one.
I see every single one.
Is it better to have a different color, Abby?
Yeah. I like that.
Like that?
Yeah, that was.
So I'm finding the intersection of the yellow and the green now, and we'll make this one. Okay. So the intersection of the yellow and the green would be here, almost. It just doesn't, there, that one fits.
Yeah.
Do you see that?
Oh, I get it, I get it, I get it.
So here's my second midpoint. Do you see that? But because I used one size circle, I don't have to do any more constructions. I just have to take my ruler and now I have to find the purple and yellow
There it is.
intersection.
I see right there. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Purple, yellow, hello. Well, that is a confusing picture. Look at that. How, when I'm sending it my final, how am I supposed to?
Okay, so it'll be right there.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so that gives me the midpoint.
You can draw on your ruler.
We got that?
Yeah.
Okay, so if I zoom out a little bit, maybe you could see there's 3 circles. They're all the same size, and they're centered at the 3 vertices. And then if you look back at them, you just find the intersection point formed by each circle pair. And now I have 3 midpoints of the triangle. So I'm going to do something here. I'm going to clone this page. Because to construct medians, what I need to do now is just take a straight edge and connect the midpoint to the opposite vertex. So I've got this midpoint right here. That's a median right there.
Oh my gosh. Got it. Wait a second.
Okay, a median. There's 3 in the triangle. You connect the midpoint. Here's a midpoint. to the opposite vertex. No, it's not an angle bisector. Angle bisectors don't hit the midpoint usually, unless it's a symmetrical triangle. It's connecting the midpoint to the opposite vertex. So, if I take the midpoint here,
So it's the exact same triangle on both sides? No, it's different.
they're different. Can you see they're not exactly even? It's not an angle bisector?
Yeah. I have.
Okay. So, the medians, you guys, if I want to do mid segments, you just connect midpoint to midpoint. So, if I wanted to do the mid segments, instead of connecting midpoint to vertex, you can connect midpoint to midpoint. And it makes another triangle. That's it.
I have something.
Okay, I'm going to pause it.